Hello everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 beauty and fashion favorites from February 2026. These are in no particular order. You're going to see some super affordable things in this video, and you're going to see, well, it's only one luxury item. But I'll be explaining to you why I think this item is worth the splurge. Up first is the brand new Nars Natural Matte Longwear Foundation. I tested this out for the very first time in my testing hot new makeup video, which I will link down below in the description box. And at the end of the video, I did have a caption on the screen that said that I had continued to use the foundation for a few more days and came to the conclusion that this foundation could possibly be an oily skinned person's answer to us losing the original formula of Estee Lauder Double Wear. If you are looking for actual oil control, because honestly, I never found the original Double Wear to be that oil controlling. Yes, upon application, it did have a matte finish, and yes, it lasted all day long without breaking up. However, I never found it, again, to be that oil controlling. This is the first foundation I've come across that is actually oil controlling. Does it keep me shine free all day? No, but nothing does. Nothing ever has. I've come to the conclusion that nothing ever will, but this is one of the best foundations for oily skin that I have found. There is one fairly big disappointment when it comes to this foundation, which I also mentioned in that video. And a lot of people commented about this as well. The shade range, while it is expansive, it really doesn't provide enough neutral to cool undertones. They describe the foundations as being cool or neutral, but I have to disagree, and I know a lot of you disagree as well. So people that have fair or light skin with a truly cool undertone, and even darker skin tones that lean cool, are really struggling to find their shade in this formula, which is so disappointing and extra frustrating because the formula is so nice, in my opinion. I do feel like it's blurring. It does contain niacinamide, which I know a lot of people are not happy about because I've heard from a lot of viewers that many of you are allergic to niacinamide, so you really wish that these brands would stop putting skincare in their foundations, which I can't disagree with. Niacinamide, yes, it's good for over time helping to smooth the skin, but a lot of us are using moisturizers, sunscreens, primers underneath our foundation. So is that skincare that's in these foundations really working? Is it really getting into the layer that it needs to get to actually do what it claims? I'm not a cosmetic chemist. I'm not even going to go down that road. All I can say with confidence is that if you have combination to oily skin and you are looking for a replacement to Estee Lauder Double Wear, you're looking for a foundation that will last all day long, will help keep the shine at bay, will look very nice and somewhat blurring on the skin. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it just made my pores and texture disappear. I am not under a normal lighting situation here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some B-roll of my face having used this foundation in natural light, because I do find it to be quite blurring. Next up is the Danessa Myricks Freedom Palette Everyday Magic. This is what I have on my eyes today, and this is exactly what I was looking for Danessa Myricks to eventually come out with. If you own the large Danessa Myricks Freedom Palette, you already have these shades. And one of the main reasons, well, it's probably the reason why I didn't purchase the large palette, is because I knew I was never going to use all of those eyeshadows. As soon as I saw this, I knew I would use every single one. The eyeshadows in this palette are top tier. The mattes are so buttery, so blendable, so pigmented. And then the shimmer shade and this metallic, absolutely gorgeous. And then the cover has a mirror and it is magnetic. Continuing with what I have on my face right now, I want to talk about these two products from Nude by Nature. This is another recent video I uploaded, or these are from another recent video I uploaded. Actually, when I did that full face of Nude by Nature, which is now available in the United States at Walmart. It is a very, very popular brand and has been for a while, been a very popular brand in Australia. And I think I had some comments saying that it's also in the UK and maybe Canada. But me, as a person in the US who normally thinks I know of every brand in existence, clearly I don't. So when I saw that this brand, Nude by Nature, was available at Walmart, that's when I decided to place a big order, try it for myself. I uploaded a video, which I will also have linked in the description box. And I'm still loving everything I tried in that video. And the brand actually saw that video and sent me some more products to try. And one of the products they sent is this bronzer. It's called Natural Glow Loose Bronzer, and they sent the shade Bondi Bronze. I cannot remember the last time I used a loose bronzer. And I was a little concerned at first because I thought if this is in the same type of container that most loose powders come in, it could be very messy. It could be, I don't know, I was just thinking it would be difficult to work with and quite messy. But it comes in the same type of container that the loose powder does, which is another favorite of mine. As an oily skinned person, loose powder is something that I am very, very picky about. My loose powder needs to be basically an airbrush. It needs to take down the shine. It needs to refine the look of my pores. I want my powder to be that finishing touch that makes me look filtered. Maybe not, again, under these lights, but if you saw me face to face, you would think that my skin looks pretty darn good. And usually it's due to the powder. Well, the powder and foundation combo. And a couple of weeks ago, I had a really horrible allergic reaction to a cleanser. My face blew up, my eyes blew up, I was swollen, I was tight, I was itchy, red. It took a full week for everything to really calm down. And obviously the first few days of the allergic reaction, I didn't put anything on my face besides some cold compresses and a very, very gentle moisturizer. And then when I started to use makeup again, I wanted to reach for the most natural products I had in my collection. And this powder being talc-free, paraben-free, I felt it would be very safe for me to use, and it was. It also contains kaolin clay, which helps to control oil. It's great for acne-prone skin. It's great for mature skin. It is so whisper light. And I do really like the way this is packaged because I can easily fit a brush just right into the center, tap off the excess, and then just dust it over any shine. And it's the same thing with the bronzer. I was instantly in love with this product the second I dusted it on my skin. I was a little worried that it would be too orangey because it appears a little warm in the packaging. But as I think I started to say, as I began to brush it onto my face, I loved the instant color and warmth and glow it gave to my skin pretty much effortlessly. And it didn't look cakey. It was very easy to blend. It didn't look patchy. I simply cannot say enough good things about these two items. Okay, moving on to cheeks. I came across this girl on TikTok, this content creator. And obviously she's young and gorgeous. And I don't know if she's using a filter or not, but her skin appears to be flawless. And I know the first thing you noticed is the first thing that I noticed, the glow on her cheeks. The products she uses, she has done multiple makeup tutorials, but most of the products she uses are Swedish. They're from a brand called I.AM.GIA Cosmetics, which I've looked and we can't get it here in the United States. And with all the makeup I already own, I'm just not going to order from overseas and pay the exorbitant shipping and tariffs and all that. So I've tried my best to come up with something that resembles the result that she gets. But I've come to the conclusion that I just can't. Not on my oily, textured, mature skin. It just doesn't work. So the closest thing I've found is this Faux Fay Soft Touch Luminous Blush. I bought it on Amazon. And yes, it does look a lot like the Rare Beauty Luminous blushes, but these are actually better, in my opinion. I love the look of the Rare Beauty Luminous blushes, but on me at least, they do emphasize too much texture. There's something about this formula that, I mean, it's still going to emphasize texture a little bit, but once again, I'm not walking around in these lights, and I don't find that my pores are this visible in natural light. So I'm loving the way this looks. It's my cheek color and highlight in one, so I don't have to use a separate highlighter. And I get that glow right on the apples of my cheeks. This comes in multiple shades. The one I'm using is 03. Up next is my lip combo. And even though it's 3 products, I'm counting it as one item on my list in this top 10. Like a combo meal at a fast food restaurant, it would be rung up as one item, right? This combo is all Drugstore. I don't know if this lipstick from L'Oreal has gone viral on YouTube. I don't think it has, but over on Instagram and especially on TikTok, these classic frost L'Oreal lipsticks are all the rage, especially the shade 135 Ballerina Shoes. I will say though, people either love it or they hate it. When I first saw it, I sort of recoiled in horror because I remember wearing a frosted pink lip gloss in the 7th grade that just looked absolutely horrible with my silver metal braces. So to see this make a comeback, I was having flashbacks to photos of me in the 7th grade. Not cute. So let's just say I was very hesitant to try it, but it got to me. All of the hype, all of the videos got me to go out and buy it. And I have to say I am loving it. Not alone, but in a combo. And there are multiple ways you can wear this. You can wear this with a nude lip liner. You can wear it with a plummier liner. I've gone with sort of a rosy liner. And the liner I'm using for this is from Maybelline. It is the Lifter Liner in the shade Peaking. And then to tone down the frost just a bit, although I do like it on its own, I add a little bit of a lip oil. Any lip oil really will do. This one is from e.l.f. and it is the shade Papaya Razzi. And it just tones down the frost a little bit, but adds shimmer instead and a little shine. So pretty. All right, moving on to fashion and accessories. If you have noticed my earrings, you may have thought, oh, those look like Alexis Bittar. I love Alexis Bittar jewelry. I own several pieces. And Alexis Bittar jewelry isn't crazy expensive in comparison to some other brands out there, but it's also not inexpensive. These earrings, though, inexpensive. They are from CVS. Yes, you heard that right. I bought them at my local CVS when I was waiting for a prescription. They cost me $15 and I love them. They are so lightweight. I think they bring just the right amount of sparkle to my face. You can dress them up, you can dress them down. And I have to say, there were a couple of other pieces in the CVS jewelry area that intrigued me. They definitely piqued my interest. Now, obviously, I can't say if every CVS is going to have these exact earrings, and I apologize to my international viewers that I haven't looked yet. I most likely won't have a link for you to purchase these, but if I can find something similar, also at an affordable price, I will certainly link that for you. Next up are these jeans from Amazon. The full name is Flying Banana Women's High-Waisted Butt-Lifting Stretch Bootcut Jeans. They are under $45 and they are so comfortable, so flattering, and they come in a long version, which is what I ordered because I do like to wear my jeans with heels. Well, not always, but most of the time I do wear my jeans with heels. I do have other jeans that are shorter that I wear with sneakers, but I wanted these to be more of a going out jean. So I did order the long. You can also order the regular length as well as a short length. So everyone is covered when it comes to these jeans. I love them so much, I went and ordered them in the black as well. I have jeans in my closet from Walmart that cost $22, and I have jeans in my closet that I purchased from Nordstrom that cost me $250. And the jeans I will now be reaching for the most are under $45 from the brand Flying Banana. I also recently made my very first purchase from Fabletics. My husband and I were walking through the mall a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that they were having a sale. There was a big sign in the window that said up to 60% off store-wide. So of course that got my attention, and I am currently looking for more daytime, comfy loungewear. Usually when I'm at home, just relaxing or editing or just doing chores around the house, I'm in mismatched t-shirts or sweatpants, pajama bottoms. Let's just say I'm comfy, but not necessarily cute. So I wanted to have some cute loungewear that I could not only wear at home, but also out to run errands and be comfortable, yet still look put together. So I found this set, and I have to tell you, this material is so soft. And I was ready to pay full price for this because I didn't see any signs anywhere that said that this particular set was on sale. You know, sometimes they have the sign in the window that'll say up to 60% off, and then at the bottom it'll say select items. So when you go in the store, it's just very few select items that are on sale. So I didn't see any sort of sign over where the pants and the top were on hangers. So I was, again, ready to purchase these items at full price, but when I took them up to the counter, she gave me 50% off. And I actually stopped for a second and thought, maybe I should go buy the same set in another color. And I didn't. And now I'm kicking myself for not doing that. I really should have. So maybe I'll go back for another set. Well, I say set, but they are sold separately, the top and the bottom. I am 5'7", so I do kind of wish they were a little bit longer, but they're still fine. I still love them. It's not like I'm going to be wearing those with heels. Last Sunday, I had my parents over for dinner and I was wearing that set. And the first thing my mom said to me was, "Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Where did you get it?" Remember during the intro of this video, I did say that I had one item that was definitely a splurge. I just purchased my second pair of Christian Louboutin Miss Z mules. I purchased my first pair in this, I think they call it blush color, a year ago. The Miss Z, I want to say it's a new style, but it's not necessarily a style. It's a new category because there's the Miss Z pump, there's the Miss Z mule, there's the Miss Z, I don't even know what else they're called. But the Miss Z itself, what's different about that is that they have the everlasting sole. So instead of the bottoms looking like this, all you have to do to get the bottoms of the Miss Z's clean again, and I clearly need to do that with these, is just take a damp cloth and they will look as good as new. They also have the classic red on the inside of the heel. So when you're wearing it, you actually still see the red on the inside. It also makes the heel look taller than it actually is. This is the 80 mm, which is a little over 3 inches. But honestly, it feels like it's shorter, but on the foot, it looks taller. The Miss Z's also have cushioning. They're padded, and the toe box doesn't pinch your toes like most Christian Louboutin shoes do. I have some other pumps, I think they're called the Pigalle. I got them years ago, and they're just sitting in my closet because I could never stretch out the toe box enough to where I could wear those shoes for more than an hour without being in excruciating pain. I did try to sell them on Poshmark, but I was lowballed like you wouldn't believe. So I decided just to keep them in my closet. Eventually I will donate them or sell them, but I digress. If you are looking for a comfortable shoe, a comfortable designer shoe that goes with almost anything, please look into the Miss Z Mule 80mm. So why did I buy a second pair when these go with almost everything? Well, like I said, almost everything. After realizing that these were my most comfortable, most worn shoe out of all the different shoes that I own, I decided to get them in black. Oh, by the way, they are true to size. I'm a size US 7. I ordered both of these in a 37. So obviously it's the same exact shoe. I was a little nervous that it might fit differently because, you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes the same style shoe will fit differently in a different color, but no, this one feels just as comfortable. I have not worn these out yet, so I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that they are as comfortable as the blush color. I mean, they should be, right? But again, you never know. But I am super excited to have these. They were sold out for a while, so when I saw them in the 80mm on the Nordstrom site, I just added to cart and checked out before I changed my mind. These do come in the 100mm, but that is simply too high for me. I think the 80 looks amazing. I don't need to go any higher. And in case you didn't know, I live in Vegas. And while I don't go down to the Las Vegas Strip that often, when I have friends come to town, we typically do go to meet them either for dinner or we actually have a staycation where we're staying at one of the resorts. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like carrying those roll-up flip-flops or roll-up like ballet shoes that they sell. They even have vending machines here in Vegas where you can get those roll-up ballet slippers because you do so much walking and most heels are very uncomfortable. So the first time I walked from our hotel room in the Cosmopolitan out over the bridge, through the Crystal Shopping Center, into Aria, all the way through the casino and down to one of the restaurants in Aria, which, you know, they look like they're close, but they're not that close. That is easily a 15-minute walk. When my feet did not hurt even a little after that walk, I knew these were a good investment. And yeah, I haven't worn the black yet, but I'm speaking about the blush/nude color that I already have and have worn so many times. So if you are in the market for an amazing, comfortable designer shoe, I cannot recommend these Miss Z Mules enough. And yes, I do plan on wearing these Christian Louboutins with my $15 earrings from CVS. All right, that'll do it. I really hope you all enjoyed hearing about my top 10 makeup and fashion/accessory favorites for February. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. As always, I will have every product listed and linked in the description box, as well as tagged through YouTube Shopping if it's available. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will consider doing so. I do upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find me over on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. My username is the same on every platform. It's Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.